So here's just a little strategy for making changes as well. So I have this lens, let's see, focus ring here. And the focus ring isn't exactly the way that I want it to be. I think I don't really like these grippies. I kind of want to make more of them and make them a little bit smaller. But I'm not quite sure, and I definitely want to keep this one for reference just in case. So check this out. Because this focus ring is an internal component, meaning so far we've been saving everything inside of our assembly file. There are no external files. We're going to get to that soon. We can actually duplicate this really easily. Let's select this focus ring and Control-C to copy and Control-V to paste. Now that's going to paste it any old place out here, and it might just look kind of funny, but that's okay. We can drag that around and move it where we need to. Now, these two parts are actually the same part. They're not referencing the same part or something like that. They actually are the same thing. So if I select this guy and say Edit Part, and actually click in here and, I don't know, make a change to it, you'll notice that both of these parts are changing at the same time because they are the same part. Any change I make to one is a change to the other. So let me exit that part. I'm going to right-click the new one here in the Feature Manager design tree and go down to this button called Make Independent. Now, once again, this is only available to us with virtual components that are inside of our assembly. That's a bigger topic we're going to talk about later. But for now, just keep in mind that this won't work all the time, but it does work in this case. Now it is independent, and I know that because it says Copy of Focus Ring. I'm going to call this my Focus Ring 02. I can actually just open that in its own window. Let's go to the right view, zoom in here. I'm going to select that Cut Extrude feature, and actually let's just edit this, this sketch. And I'm going to move this up so it's not quite so big, something like so. We can kind of set that however we want. Hit OK. Now we have a much smaller cut out of this thing, which should mean that with my circular pattern, if I edit that feature, should be able to fit a couple more of these things on here, and I think that's just going to look a little bit better. Hit OK. That looks really nice. Now, what if I'd like to fillet those edges? This is a really cool thing. So our circular pattern right now just patterns that cut extrude. Well, what if I wanted to also add a fillet and pattern that as well? I can actually do that in SOLIDWORKS. Very impressive stuff. Let's drag our history tree back before the circular pattern. So we just warped back in time, back to the future. We hopped in the DeLorean, and now we are back before that circular pattern ever happened. We head over to our features, and we add a fillet. Let's go to our fillet tool, and I'm going to add a constant radius fillet. Let's just click this face, and it's going to put a fillet all the way around. Now I'm going to change that dimension to say, I don't know, 5, so it's a little bit less extreme, and hit OK. And now we have a nice, clean, rounded edge on that. And then if I go back and turn on my circular pattern again, ta-da! No, not quite. Not quite, because actually all we've told it to do is pattern this feature. We didn't tell it to pattern the fillet. We added a fillet, but it doesn't know to add that to the pattern. So let's edit our pattern feature. Click the pattern feature and click Edit Feature. Then under Features to Pattern, right now we're patterning the Cut Extrude. Let's also pattern the fillet. Hit OK, and it's going to pattern that fillet as well as the Cut Extrude. So, so cool. Very great stuff. Let's grab the front edge and the back edge of this. Let's do, I don't know, 2mm fillet on those. Hit OK. That's looking a lot more gooder. We'll go back to our main assembly, hit Save. That looks much better. That's the one I want. I want to hide the other one. And just to make sure that things don't get confusing, a lot of times in this case, I'll go to my medium gloss and I'll just choose a different color. Let's make this one yellow, again at the component level. And that way it'll be really clear which one is which when I'm hopping around in my assembly here. Now I'm going to move this off to the side. We're going to talk about how to deal with that in another video.